Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Archeryshack Shop Talk. I'm Jeremy.
I'm TJ.
This is number 49. We're closing in on a year.
Getting there.
We slightly missed. This one was supposed to come out last week, and we got behind, and we're still behind, but we needed to get these out, so we're doing it. But don't forget, I'll be saying this the next couple podcasts, but on August 22nd, that'll be our 1-year podcast anniversary. We're giving away a recurve bow, a home tuning kit, and a set of bowstrings for any bow of your choice. So
Yep.
it'll be live on August 22nd. That'll be a Saturday at 6 p.m. Tune in on YouTube and win some stuff and chat with us. It'll be fun.
It will be.
But we had an extremely busy day in the shop today. One of our top sales days of all time since we've been here, but sold a couple bows, took in some used bows, all kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat. It's good. I don't want to sound bad by saying this. I probably shouldn't even say it. It's great, but like we got nothing done because we steadily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. talked to people nonstop and just took in more and more and more and more. And some people I don't think understand, on a, let's just say on an average restring of a bow, you got roughly an hour of manual labor in building the string, and we build all of our own strings unless somebody brings one, for us to put on, and that's fine too. But you got an hour in that, and then it's according to the bow, but you roughly got another hour in getting it right and tuned and all that stuff. So let's say 2 hours a bow, and then, we got 45 bows waiting times 2 hours a piece. Plus, you got the phone ringing and people coming in, and it gets crazy. So
it does.
Like the past week or two, we've tried to spend a lot of times when we're not open in here trying to work on stuff, but you can only get so much done. One night we stayed till like 3 a.m, and
I know
it's crazy.
I know we spent a couple nights here kind of late this past week trying to get caught up.
Yeah. If I hadn't said it publicly, I appreciate you doing what you do.
It ain't no problem.
TJ is putting in the work, and we're trying to do what we can do. But I think most people understand. But I know you talked to a guy today that seemed kind of pissed off that it was going to take a couple weeks to get a bow restrung or whatever. And I wasn't out here at the time, but I thought, man.
No, it wasn't even we was going to restring it. He just wanted it set up.
Oh, okay.
And he said he wanted his draw length changed. I said, and it ain't that big of a deal, but we're, shoulders deep in bows right now. And, most of the time, if it's something simple, we'll try to knock it out real quick. But, normally with a hole set up, and it's plus when they say, I need a draw length change. Well, so I said, well, what bow you got? And he hands me an Elite Impulse. And I'm like, we can't do nothing about draw length because we're not, number one, this takes a draw mod. Number two, we're not an elite dealer. So you're going to have to get the mods. I said, once you do that, you can bring it back to us, and we can get it set up. And the guy that was with him, he just kind of like, well, why y'all? What makes y'all so far behind? And I was just like, that's typically not a question that you want to ask somebody in a shop, because I didn't get mad. I didn't get ill with him. I just told him, I said, dude, we've got like 40 plus bows back here waiting on restring and retunes. I said, we make our own strings and everything. So it takes a little bit more time than just some of these shops. I don't know, but that you just walk in, they slap stuff on there and send you out the door without tuning it.
Yep.
So.
And that, honestly, looking back in our days at Bucks and Bass, we didn't go into near the detail that we do here. It was more of a put the string on it, level everything, hand it to them. And of course, that was mostly solo cam days, so it wasn't as much cam fooling. But
yeah. Or shoot it through paper once or twice.
We try to get stuff right, but it is what it is. We know most people understand.
Oh, yeah.
Craziest thing to me that happened today was we took in a trade on a prime bow, a 1-year-old prime bow pretty much, and the guy bought a new one. And like 7 minutes later, after that guy left, a guy come in and was like, "I'm looking for a used bow." And I was like, "Well, listen, I just took this in. I hadn't even looked it over good, whatever." He's like, he shot it one time. I was like, "I'll take it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Good Lord, let me go wax the string and look this thing over and make sure, clean it up a little bit."
Yeah.
But I ain't never had that happen that quick of a we don't take in many used bows to start with.
And we don't.
But
it's normally if we know you real well, and
well, like this guy has bought prime bows from us.
Yeah.
Multiple times, and I told him what we could give him for him, and he said that's fair, and we did the deal, and it wasn't here 7 minutes literally, and the guy come in and bought it.
Yeah.
That was wild.
It's just it was one of those weird days in the shop though, because I figured they'd been waiting on us when we got here this morning.
It was kind of slow to start out. Like for an hour, it was kind of like, well, we might get some stuff done, and I started working on an expedition. You were stringing the whole 9 yards, and then all of a sudden,
yeah.
But then we had a little 20-minute gap, and actually pretty much got to eat, which never happens. Usually if food shows up, 20 people show up.
Exactly.
So it's wild.
Yeah. And it's normally one of us will come up here while everybody else eats, and then it just kind of rotate out.
Mm-hmm. But it was a pretty neat day. Let me think. We have a ton of people coming in talking about the ranch fairy, and we've brought him up on here. What are y'all's thoughts? Put it in the comments. I want to know. Most people coming in are just seeing his YouTube stuff and wanting heavy arrows. They hadn't really looked into his, I don't know if you'd call it tuning process, but his, messing with the weights and all that, sort of a bare shaft tune. And then I get on internet one night this week just to research what people were saying, and most of the internet people thought he was a dumbass, and I don't know, all that type of thing. So what are your thoughts? We've pretty much been telling people the truth that, what he's doing is taking an overspined arrow, putting a heavy tip in it, breaking that spine down, and then sort of doing a bare shaft tune. But kind of what I've told a few people is my preference would be, tell me what weight arrow you want to shoot. We're going to sort of do the same thing. If you normally shoot a 350, we're going to probably put you on a 250, and then play with, we got like all these little calculators and stuff we can play with, but figure out a tip weight, and then from there, we're going to do our normal tune. We're going to level everything like you should. We're going to get the center shot right. We're going to get it to paper tune. Then we can go do the walk back tune and finally tune the tip weight, in a few increments. Mm-hmm. That's how my process would be.
Well, and plus, he's doing a knock tune, which is, if I might be wrong, but that's just finding the weak and heavy or weak and stiff spine on the arrow, which we got that
spine checker. We can pretty much do the same thing, but a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And I've tested that by, playing with your knock and it pretty much comes out the same way. So for the most part, that can be, and I feel like if you're going to go that far, we'll get it to the paper tune, walk back tune, bare shaft tune, and then you can go full with each individual arrow type thing. But
yeah,
that's taking it a little crazy. But we got the spine checker that'll tell us a stiff and weak spine, and that usually tells us right where we need to be. But what are y'all's thoughts? What from, like I say, from the people coming in, I think that all they get out of it is heavy arrow,
heavy front weight, high FOC,
but not like the tuning part of it. So
yeah.
Anyway, I don't want, the guy obviously has a lot of people paying attention to him, and I think he became popular. He did that podcast with the crap. If I wasn't trying to think of it, I could tell you. Anyway, one of the popular hunting podcasts, the Hunting Public, back at the ATA show, and everybody was like, "Hey, who's this cat?" And then he's been making all these YouTube videos and definitely got a lot of attention. So we just curious of what you think about him. What else? Got a bunch of stuff. We got more Black Eagle arrows coming in, more of this, more of that. A lot of interesting crossbows today.
Yeah.
And in the past week or two, sold a few of the big shot broadhead targets. I still need to hear some feedback. I mean, I know they're good, but I don't know anybody that shot a bunch of broadheads at one. And it's not the ones we promote that pull out easy. You can't shoot a broadhead at those. It's the black Titan targets that's made
Yeah.
for broadheads. But the cool thing is it's 4-sided, and the bottom of it has an animal on it, so you can shoot it on every side except for the top where the handle's at. I'd just like to know some feedback.
You probably could shoot it on top with the handle, but if you hit the handle with your broadhead, you'd probably cut it in half.
Yep.
But I can tell you what else is gaining more ground is I've had more people, and I thought we were, it kind of slow, but traditional stuff, recurves and longbows, people still coming in asking about recurves and longbows.
I can't wait to give that one away on the 22nd. And I've said this before, we're not going to pre-order that bow because I don't want like a female to win it or even a kid or whatever. I want to be able to order, you tell me what poundage, you right or left-handed, the whole, that way we get it for you, not just be like, well, we got a 45-pound one, hope it works.
Yeah.
And it is pretty much a Samick Sage, but Lancaster has their own recurve division called Galaxy. So they call it the Galaxy Sage. It's the same bow, but it's I think they may make their limbs in-house or something. So, so that's good. If you're local, this coming weekend, the 16th, August 16th, Kiwi Bowman is having the Bowhunter Jamboree that weekend, the 15th and 16th. So that's the cool thing. It's all deer targets. It's to get you ready for hunting season. Go check it out. It's like $15 for an adult to shoot. Look them up, kiwibowman.com. It's in 6 Mile, South Carolina. But on Sunday at 3 o'clock, Joey Caraway's doing a 10-target shoot, a little bit different. It's going to be out to 70 yards, known distance, and I think it was $15 or $20 to get in. I'll share it on Facebook because I can't remember. But
I can't remember either.
Most of the pot's going back to the winner, and then he's connected with a couple shops that gave him stuff. And that's going to be a big raffle thing for anybody that participates. So he's going to have a lot of stuff to give away. We gave him a big bag of stuff, and I know of other stuff he's got, tree stands and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So check that out. Kiwi Bowman, August 16th, 3 p.m. It's going to be. I'm curious. He's shared it on Facebook a little bit. I'm curious to see how many people show up. I mean, it's going to be a lot of stuff gave away. So I would hope he has a good crowd.
Well, I think he's got the right idea of start extending shots out because, most of your 3D tournaments, 50 yards is max anyway. And
I feel like ASA, especially in like the pro class, ought to go to 70 or 80 yards.
I do too. Like they're doing OPA. But I think going to that longer shot distance, like the Total Archery Challenge that we've talked about before, I really think that, if you could kind of do something like that, I think it would take off.
Yeah. I mean, you still got your hardcore ASH style people, but the younger. I hate to say the younger people, but there's a lot of interest in the longer yardage, known distance, fun shoot.
Yeah.
We started seeing it with the Reinhardt, and then the Total Archery. We were really seeing it. I mean, there were people there about to squall. They were so happy. But anyway, trying to think what else is coming up. Our hunting season starts September 15th, so we got what's the day? We got about 2 months or 1 month, whatever. 1 month.
And then in
a few days.
Our lower part of the state opens up next Thursday, I think.
Yeah. It'll be hot.
Hot, mosquitoes.
Let me think what else. I was trying to think about what all happened today. I remember a couple times I thought I need to talk about that. Now I can't remember none of it.
I know, I can't either.
I know we had a little bit of a conversation on our live feed about the way an arrow twists coming out of the bow, and I think pretty much I said, the arrow tip on most bows comes out twisting to the left, and we talked about you could put a left helical on it, which a lot of pros do to get it to go away from their face when they shoot it, or you could request that your string builder reverse twist a string that's normally I'd say 90% of string builders, if you're holding the string out in front of you, the right side's going to be twisted clockwise. But you can ask them to do it the opposite way. And what we've seen is your arrow will start rotating to the right, and you can put a right helical, but it is some wild stuff. We had a guy drop a bow off a while ago with a Well, I guess the topic I could bring up is how long should you shoot your bow with the same bowstring? And we normally say, all right, hunting folk can get away with 3, maybe 4 years if you don't
Mhm.
shoot a ton. Most tournament people are
Once a year.
about a year, every year, yeah, because you're putting a lot of shots in it. But we were talking to these people, and I was like, I had one guy come in with a string that was like 25 years old, like it was about to explode. He was like, I just throw it in the closet, shoot it a few times before hunting season, and take it out. He said, I may or may not shoot at a deer with it. And I was like, man, you are lucky you didn't get busted in the face.
Yeah.
But definitely check out it's the time of year. We got about a month before hunting season here. Get your bow out. Just at least give it a good looking over. Wipe the dust off of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you hadn't had it stored in the heat type thing. I don't remember who dropped the bow off. Who was it today or yesterday? And they had him in that bow, and I mean, it was hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, do not put this thing in the heat. But look your bow over. If you got bad serving separation, go ahead and take it to your shop and get you some strings put on it. Because we're about getting into that time frame where it's like you've done waited till the last minute. You know what I mean? Like we're almost there.
Almost we're there.
Yeah.
I mean,
For us, and it's according to what state you're in and what time when your season starts. But
oh yeah, for us it is past that point.
look your stuff over. Another big thing is take your arrows and flex them. You don't see it often, but give them a good flex. Take a look at the back of the arrow at the nock. Maybe even push on the nock a little bit. If you got a nock that's real loose, that's a big telltale sign that you got a crack
Somewhere.
Check those out. Just do all your safety stuff. Make sure your bow's right. Shoot it. Make sure you're hitting. I know people that they'll be like, oh hell, I sighted it in 3 years ago. Well, I'm not going to the woods, not knowing that I'm hitting what I'm aiming at. You know what I mean? Shoot your broadheads a time or two. Do all that stuff. It's the time to do it.
Yeah.
So,
even though it's 90-something degrees outside down here, but
yeah.
Step out, sling a few airs, and
Yep. Make sure your stuff's right. We've been a lot of crossbow people's been coming in, and I feel like the crossbow people are the ones that maybe are the worst at not checking their stuff out. Because they'll come in blowed up and everything else, and it's like this didn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean? This was either you didn't lube your rail up for a while, or that serving didn't just break.
Yeah.
Check if you're shooting a crossbow. Check all that out. Make sure your center serving's good. Make sure all that. Check your bolts. Make sure you don't have no cracks in them.
Yeah.
Shoot it. Make sure it's hitting where you're aiming at. All the same stuff. Make sure all you screws are tight. All the usual stuff. It's time to do it. And if you find something that needs to be fixed, it'd be nice to figure it out now and not like 2 days before the season.
Yeah.
Because it never fails.
We're going to get cussed out.
Oh, yeah. 48 hours before opening day, people will be mad as hell because we can't fix something, or this happened or that happened. And we're like, listen, we can only do so much. It is what it is. This is something you should have looked at 2 months ago. But we do everything we can do.
Yeah.
And that's it. So.
Yeah. Hopefully, probably September 1st, hopefully we won't have as many bows dropped off at starting about that time, because most everybody's done got them out, started shooting a little bit with their buddies. It's just those last minute people or just...
Well, and sort of our, if you want to call it a game plan that hopefully will work. Like we said, we're staying late, doing all this stuff. The game plan is to put very soon a big dent in what we got, to where when we do get to like around September the 1st, Labor Day, we don't have that many bows sitting here waiting to be worked on, so that we can help those people that did wait till the last minute. I can't talk, but
I kind of don't see it happening though.
Well,
this year.
we're gonna try.
We're gonna try. I mean, I hope it works out, but I know probably from now on, I was talking to Vanessa the other night. I'm gonna try to take a night or two a week and just stay late and try to stay.
Yeah.
At least get strings laid out. That way we can get them on. And
it's this time of the year, like people will come in and complain about other shops and be like they're assholes or whatever, at other times of the year. But it's at this time of the year where I'm like, well, that's according to how you like people that I've heard the way they talk to us. I've been like, sometimes I can see that, and hopefully nobody's going and telling people we've ever been assholes. We try to be nice even when they're not nice, but some people just don't understand, they don't. We're not a Matthews dealer, for example. Somebody comes in sometimes needing Matthews parts, and we're like, listen, we don't have a way to get parts for this. You're going to go somewhere else, and sometimes people get mad, but we try to explain it. We try to do what we can do, and I think most people understand.
Oh yeah.
Every now and then we get somebody wild, but
yeah, and if you've sent us emails or called us and we hadn't got back to you or whatnot, we apologize. We try our best to stay on top of that. And
right now it might take a few days.
Yeah.
I know. I don't remember who I even answered this morning, but it was an email that came through several days ago, and I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't even see it." But we trying.
Oh yeah.
We got everybody at full speed. But anyway, we like I say, this podcast we were supposed to do last week didn't get it out, so we wanted to pop this one out and get it done while we had a second to sit down.
Yeah.
We really don't have a second to sit down, but we were like, our legs hurt. Let's do a podcast. But thank y'all for listening.
Yep.
Let us know if there's anything we can do for you, and y'all be safe.
See y'all.